Now, we all know when they drag the cars back from the racetrack, they pull all the major components out of them and they bring them into here, which is called a sub-assembly room. Now, in this room here in particular, gearboxes and clutches. Now, Andy that works in this room reckons he's pretty clever. I reckon he's overpaid, because look at this on the wall. Instructions. I mean, fair dinkum, my little sister could do this. Now, if we look, here's a clutch, V8 supercar clutch worked on. That's about probably a third of the weight, half the size of your road car clutch, but takes 4 times the horsepower. Gearbox, over here I want to show you this. This is fantastic. Very rarely you get to see how a gearbox works. These are the little selectors. Here we go. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th gear. That simple. Now what you've got to look at is the servicing. They pull all the buggered components out of these. Here's some here. Now let me show you. Look at that. Absolutely, can you see that? Fried. You know where that's from, folks? Mark Skaife. They let him drive their car in Abu Dhabi, and that's what happens. You might be wondering what this is sitting behind me here. Looks like some sort of speedway car or a barger buggy. Well, there you are. There is a V8 supercar naked. You can see here there's about, I think, 80 odd metres of roll cage in this. In fact, a lot of the roll cage is so fine, 0.8 of a millimetre thick, they can cut it with tin snips. All the floor of the car, fabricated, beautifully done, TIG welded most of it, on a lovely jig here, so it's very, very precise and very accurate. This is their machine shop, their fabrication shop. Some really nice equipment in here. We've got all sorts of welders, folders, guillotines. Here you are. So if you look in the rack here, you can see all these sheets of steel, tubing, probably about 2 V8 supercars sitting right there. Lathes, mills, there's some really nice stuff. Now I did a quick little calc. You're so used to seeing these cars in their war paint, but now you've seen one undressed. In the workshop here behind me, they spend in a season about 270 days with their clothes off. It's very rare that we ever get to see underneath a V8 supercar. So this is V8 supercar underbelly. Now let me just quickly tell you, when you look at these cars, you saw one undressed before, about 900 hours to make one, 600 hours then to put the whole thing together, plus another 400 to make all the little bits and pieces. That's about 2,000 hours. You can see here, this is the rear end, the differential. I mean, look at that, all handcrafted, beautifully made. This is the Watts Link, this adjuster we talk about a lot during the telecast, that they can adjust their rear roll centre. The ducts, these are the coolers that you often hear about them belting on the curbs. You can see how low they hang down. Centre of gravity, very important. This is a carrier for the lead weight. You can see they want that very, very low and rearward in the car. But come up the front, this is the front cross member. But what I really want to show you, we talk about how this front aerodynamic piece works. Now, the air comes underneath the car here, right? Then you can see this slopes back. So as the air comes out here, it expands. Okay, so as it expands, it drags this air here quicker, and the faster air goes, the lower the pressure. So that's how we get downforce at the front of the car. So now if we look at a car that sits here in the workshop, you can see how it's all made, so all the panels are made to rivet on. So you can see how they dress that very easily and then undress it again to be able to work on it. Now, what modern workshop would be complete without a gymnasium? Just have a look at this. Not just for the drivers, this is also for the guys that work the cars and do the pit stops. Neil Crompton has one like this at home. It's about double the size. Have a look at his body. That's funny. So when I watched these Kelly boys doing the pit stop, I came up here and said, you need to do a better job. You really need to lift some wheels. So we've modded up the barbells. That's it, Toto. Keep going at it, mate. That's a great job. Yeah, a couple of wheel nuts there. Now, as a driver, I reckon the gym's great, but I tell you, as a team owner, the thing you really need in your workshop, what do you reckon, folks? A bar. This is what you really need. Thanks for coming along today, mate.
No problem, mate. Thank you.
Mate. Cheers.